Okay, so you are welcome to this particular video. So in this video now, we are going to be paraphrasing our content that we just generated from Chat GPT. And the reason why we are doing that is because we want to stay safe, so that maybe if Amazon finds out that we have actually generated content from using AI, or maybe in the long run, in the future, it may decide to do something funny. Okay, so now we are going to be at the safer side. Why? Because we are going to be paraphrasing our own content. But actually, for now, there is nothing wrong using. You can be able to use this content like this without paraphrasing it. But the reason why we want to paraphrase it is we want to just stay at the safer side. And one thing with Amazon is that your own Amazon KDP account is your own asset. Once you lost that particular account, you have lost the entire asset. Maybe your account have started generating income for you. Maybe you have $500 or $1,000, and at the end of the day, you got your account terminated, and that is how you are going to lose that particular money. So you see, it is very important to just put your sweat into this particular business. Okay, so and you must have to do everything possible to protect your account, as it is your own asset when it comes to Amazon KDP business. So now this is the content we have generated from ChatGPT. As you can see, you can see in different chapters from chapter 1 up to chapter 11, and also to the conclusion. Okay, but before we talk about paraphrasing our content, I just want to show you something real quick. So after generating content from chapter 1 to 11, I also asked ChatGPT using this particular prompt to write conclusion for me. This is it. Continue with conclusion, or write a conclusion for this particular book. Anyone you use, ChatGPT is going to write a conclusion for you. Now, what I usually do for most of my books now is that I usually ask readers of my books, or anybody who happens to purchase my book, to leave a positive review after reading that particular book. Now, having a review on your book is going to increase the book credibility, and is going to increase your own sales, and also it is going to help you to rank on Amazon. Now, actually, having a review does not have anything to do with ranking on Amazon, but it is going to do it in an indirect way. And what is the indirect way is that it is going to increase your own sales velocity. So now, once your own sales velocity increase on Amazon, now your ranking also increases. So review is very important for your own book. So now, let me show you how you can do that at the end of your book. Now I'll ask ChatGPT to do that for me. Please now write a persuasive call to action call to action for readers to leave a positive review after reading this book. Now let's wait for ChatGPT to give us that call to action. Now it is writing the call to action for us. Now this is going to be at the end of our book. So this is going to be at the end of our book, so that everybody who read this book to the end is going to drop his own thoughts, his own perspective, his own review regarding our own book. Okay, so now let me just go to my docs. If you are using laptop, you can go to your docs. Let me just go to my docs. You can use any of these. If you like, you can use Microsoft document, but usually I use Microsoft Word for my book formatting and for my book editing. But what I usually do is that any content I copy from ChatGPT, I use docs to do some things on that particular content before moving it to the Microsoft document. Like, for example, now the paraphrasing we talk about. So now let me just go and copy the content. As you can see now, at the end of the day, now you write the author's name here. You just put the name of the author or your own pen name that you use for that particular book, which I'm going to show you also inside this particular course, how you can get name that you can use for your own book. Okay, so now let me just go up there and then copy this particular content and then start working on it. Okay, chapter, okay, chapter 1. Now here is the introduction. Okay, so now let me just copy everything. Let me just copy everything, copy, and let me just paste it here. Now paste. Okay, so you can see it here. So anything that comes with this regenerate, now you delete it. It is coming from ChatGPT. And this picture of mine, you delete it because you are going to see your own picture. Maybe if you use picture on your own Google account, now you delete this. Anything that has to do with ChatGPT, delete that particular part. Anything that is not part of your content, please make sure you delete that. Okay, okay, and now this is the final part. So all these lines now, I'm going to delete them. I'm going to delete everything, these ones. So where you write prompt also, and if it appears in your content, please make sure you also delete it. Okay, so make sure you delete that, because sometimes you may copy with some unnecessary stuff, so you cannot use them on your book. Please make sure you delete those things. Now this is the conclusion. So now you take your time, go through the content, and then start removing some things that are not important, some unwanted stuff that comes a long way with the chat GPT when you're copying your content. So now this is the content of my book. Now this is the introduction. When you go down, you are going to find what the chapter 1. Let me just delete this one. You're going to find what chapter 1. Chapter 1. Now you remove this. Anything that is unwanted, please make sure you remove it. Now this is chapter 1. Okay, so now this is my own content, so I'm going to take my time, go through it, edit it, and then make it into separate chapters. Make it into separate chapters for me to be able to identify my own work. So I can give space here so that I can know this is chapter 1. That is how I do it after removing all the unwanted stuff. So now this is another one. This is another one. Let me just remove it. Let me just remove it. This is chapter 2. This is another. This is what? This is also unwanted. This is a question from ChatGPT. Let me remove it. Take your time, go through all these things now and remove anything that is not relevant to your book. Please and please. It's very, very important. It's very, very important. Now this is chapter 2, so that's how I do it. So now I have my own content. Let's assume I have edited this particular content and removed everything that is unwanted from this particular content. What I was left with is just the pure content of the book. Okay, so now let's assume that is what we have here. So now I can just go ahead and paraphrase this particular content. Now what do we mean by paraphrasing? Now paraphrasing means rewriting this particular content to make it 100% original. Yes, like you have not copied it from the chat GPT. What I'm saying, if you could understand me, is that please, using the content direct from ChatGPT is not a big deal, it's not a sin, but it is very important that you do some things to the content so that you stay safe on Amazon. Yes, I know some people might still ignore this paraphrasing and checking for grammar and checking for plagiarism, which at the end of the day is going to cost them their account, and they are going to come back to me and start complaining. So I have laid that particular warning for you. You should be very careful. Do these things to your content to be at the safer side, please and please. Okay, so now we are going to be using tools like Quillbot and Spinbot for our paraphrasing, but I preferably want to use Quillbot because it is a bit more better thinker than the Spinbots. Okay, so now I usually like using Quillbot, but you can try them out and see. Okay, so now let me just go to my browser and let me show you what I mean. Okay, now this is the content that we have on docs. Now let's say we want to paraphrase our content, we want to rewrite our content to something that is going to be unique. Okay, so now what we are going to be doing is that we are going to be going to a website known as Quillbots. Now quillbots.com. So if you are coming to this particular site for the first time, it may ask you to create an account, which you are going to do. That is not a big deal. And you are not going to see this particular premium here because you are going to be using the free version of Quillbot. So now this is what a paid version of Quillbot, a premium version of it, which I'm also going to show you how you can get the premium version for free without paying a dime in this particular course. So you can check for the video on how to get Quillbot premium for free within this course area, so you watch it before you start paraphrasing your content. Definitely I'm going to put it above this particular video so that you can know about having Quillbot premium and how you can paraphrase your content along the way. Okay, now this is Quillbot, and the other side is, we said, is spinbot.com, but I said I prefer using Quillbot, of course. Now this is spinbot.com. So this is also, it has also a free version, has a free version, so you can see this is the free version of it, which you can be able to also paraphrase your content using this particular tool. Okay, so it is also a free tool. Now you paste your content here and it will rewrite the content on the other side. The same thing with Quillbots. Okay, so now let's go to where our content is. So now what I usually do is that I copied my content based on chapters so that I cannot confuse everything, because you can be able to put a long text into this paraphrasing tool. If you are using a premium version, there is no limit to the amount of text you can put here, but don't just jump pack text here. So just do it wisely and smartly. So now I may start from introduction. So what I usually do is that I will just go to my Microsoft document. I will now open it. Okay, I'll open my Microsoft document, and then let me save it with the name of the book title. So the book title is what? Transformative transformative uh, chair yoga, transformative chair yoga for weight loss. For weight loss. So now this is the title of my book, so I will save it. So now when I copied my content from now this is the introduction. Let me come here and type in introduction, and then put enter. So once I open my docs and I copied my introduction, let me copy my introduction and paraphrase. Now now it will stop here, because the next line is not part of the book. I have not edited it. Would you like to proceed with chapter 1 next, or provide feedback on the introduction? Now this one is going to be deleted. Now it is from ChatGPT. Now I have copied my introduction. Now the next thing is my chapter 1. So now I will only copy introduction, go to my paraphrasing tool. Now come here, click on this paste text. Now it is going to paste my what? My own introduction. So now I'm just going to click on what? Paraphrase. I'll just click on paraphrase. Now it will start paraphrasing the content. It will start rewriting the content, as you can see it from the other side of this particular tool. Now this tool now is rewriting this particular content for me. I think it is even done. So it has rewritten 407 words now to another 407 words. So if you are using the premium version, you can actually use these particular features. You can change it from fluency to formal to standard to simple to creative to expand. This expand is going to increase the number of text you have pasted here. Now, for example, you have pasted 407 words here, maybe you are going to get 500 or 600 words here at the other side if you are using this expand feature. If you are using this shorten feature, it is going to reduce it. Maybe you pasted 407 here, maybe you are going to get 300 plus here. So that is how it works. So these synonyms, you can decide to increase the number of synonyms here. So you can play along this particular tool. You can play along this particular tool. You see, you can play along this particular tool and get the best result for yourself. So you can use any of these standards Fluency, Creative, Expand, anyone you decided to use, you can do that. But you can decide to leave the Fluency. Maybe if you are a fan of using Expand, you can use Expand. It depends on you. Now that is how you use what? How you use Quillbot. Okay. So now you can just come down here where you have this box. Now it says what? Copy text. Just click on it once. Now it is copied. Now let's come back to our Microsoft document. Now let's paste. Now if you're using smartphone, you just right click and you come to this pasting options. Now and then paste text and paste it. Okay, now you see I have what? I have my introduction. Now the second thing I'm going to do is I'll click on insert, click on page break, and then write what? Chapter 1. Write chapter 1. Okay, now click on enter, and let's go back to Quillbot. Now this is how to use Quillbot to paraphrase your own tool. Now the same thing with Spinbot. Now you can click here. After copying the text, you click on this paste text. Now click on this allow. Okay, so now it is going to paste this particular text. Okay, now you can just start paraphrasing. Now let's click on this. Okay, let me just click on enter. I don't know what's wrong with Spinbot. Okay, okay, now so okay, this one is text spinner, and I did not click on the paraphrasing tool. Of course, I did not click on the paraphrasing tool. So now this is text spinner. Now you come here and click on what? The paraphrasing tool. This is a grammar check tool. So now you paste it, and then let's wait for it to paraphrase. So now click on basic paraphrase. Now it is going to paraphrase your content. As you see, it has paraphrased the content here. So now you copy it. Also come here and click on copy text. Now you copy it and go back and paste it on your Microsoft document. But what I will advise you to do is that please make sure you are using Quillbot, because it is making a whole lot of sense more than Spinbot. That is from my own experience when using these particular tools. So now we are done with introduction. Now let me just use chapter 1. Let me just use this chapter 1. Okay, let me use chapter 1. Let me copy it. So that is how you do it from chapter 1 up to chapter uh up to chapter 11, and up to what? Up to the conclusion of this particular text. So you don't need to do that for the call to action for readers to leave review for your own book. So now this is I'll just highlight Control A and Control V, paste, and then click on paraphrase. Now this is for my what? This is for my chapter 1. Okay, so you can see it is now paraphrasing. It is now paraphrasing the content. Now it is now paraphrasing the content. So after it is done, now it is done. So we can just come here, click on it, and then what? Go back here and then paste. Okay, let me just right click and then paste. So we have our chapter 1. So now that is how you do it for each of these chapters. Now you go to chapter 2, you do the same thing. You go to chapter 3, you do the same thing, and you are going to end up having your own full text in your own Microsoft document. Okay, so in the next video, I'm going to show you how you can start checking for plagiarism for this particular content you just paraphrase, to see if there is a plagiarism on that particular content. Okay, so thank you, and then see you in the next video.